Let's go ahead and get started. First, I'll introduce myself. My name is Christy Hunston, and I am the president of Jennie Johnson. You probably have seen my name and my picture in emails or on the website or on social media. I am a real person. Oftentimes we get questions about Jennie Johnson being real or not. And of course, Jennie Johnson is our AI technology. But behind that technology is a team of people, including myself and Kevin. So I've been working with Jennie Johnson for about 8 months now and have really enjoyed spending time working through the customer experience, like making sure that this product delivers what it needs for you, the job seeker, and for communicating that so everybody has a good understanding of how to use it. And then I also play a significant marketing role on the business.
You want me to say
Sure,
something?
go for it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm Kevin. I'm one of the co-founders, and I've been in this industry for a long time in recruiting and building job boards, working with employers and working with candidates. And Jennie Johnson is the culmination of all of our experience in the job space. And the goal with Jennie Johnson is giving candidates a leg up, giving candidates all the tools that we feel are necessary to be successful in a job search. And with that, what we determined is we can't work for the employers. We can't take sponsored postings from employers or recruiting fees, because we are serving the employer in that regard, where we want to serve the candidate. And in order to do that, we had to build a product that was a premium product for job seekers, because what Christy will go through is we have paid products through our service that we payment from candidates, which pains me in some regards to do. However, in the other businesses I've built and ran, when I'm taking sponsorships and payment from employers, it's not serving the candidate. And so that's really what we wanted to get across, was a product that will make you successful and take the employer's point of view away. So I'm always available. I'm going to add my email address into this so you guys can reach out to me directly with any questions. I'd love to give anyone a free credit to get a resume review through here, so you can email me directly. But yeah, I love chatting about this stuff and about job search and the nuances with it. So I'll let Christy go. I'll jump in here and there. But yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, maybe someone's trying to get, oh, that's your email. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I am going to start by showing you the home page. And this is where I'm going to really start the demo, is by searching for a job here. What you will find is this process is the same if you find a job on our homepage, on our website, or if you find a job that you're interested in on one of the daily digest emails, the job digest emails. Many of you probably get those emails from us, and you might click through those jobs. This process is going to be the same. So I'm going to start by just searching for a title, and I'm going to include a location. I can include remote in here as well. So if I only want remote job opportunities to show up, I will make that update here. It's important to note that we have 9 million, more than 9 million jobs in our database. So we pull jobs in from all over the internet. So we're not just pulling in jobs that are on LinkedIn or Indeed or another job board. Instead, we're consolidating all of those jobs into one place. We even pull jobs in from company websites. So we do believe our job database is one of the most extensive available to you as a job seeker. And hopefully that will help you avoid having to search across multiple platforms for a job. I know that can be tedious, time-consuming, and frustrating. So we're trying to put everything in this one job board. And we can do that because we're not taking payment from companies to post jobs. Okay, so I clicked search and now I am on my search results page. As you can see on the left-hand side are the jobs that that have come up, and then on the right-hand side is our summary of the job. And so the summary is built from our AI technology just to allow you to take a quick look and decide if this is something that is relevant to you or that you are qualified for. As you scroll down this page, you'll notice that the original job description is there as well. And you can click on that and it will open up that job description. So if you really want to dive deep into that job, that's a great thing that you can do. We also provide an overview of the company on this page and then some information on how you might go about landing this job. So it's going to talk about changes you might want to make to your resume or how to connect with the right people to have maybe more success in your job search. Power Apply, which is up here at the top, is the most important feature of the entire product, because when you click Power Apply, all of the content that helps you apply for this job will become available to you. So as you'll see, a resume analysis comes up first, and this is the component that takes a look at your resume that is attached to your profile on Jennie Johnson against the job description and outlines where there might be strengths or weaknesses, mostly weaknesses, gaps, that you should consider when you're thinking about this job. If the gaps are significant and I haven't had that experience, then I am going to assume I'm not really qualified for this job. I'm going to close out of this one and go to another job. But if the gaps are things that I have actually done, but my resume doesn't make clear, then it's something I can take the next step, right? And revise my resume to fill these gaps. So there's six that are listed here. And that comes with one of the paid products. We give you one for free. So the first one is always free if you don't have a paid product, because we want you to be able to see a little bit of this. The next tab is all the places that you can apply to this job. So there are the application links where you can go to apply. And so again, we go on the internet and we pull all of the places that you could possibly apply. And then you can decide, do I want to apply on the company website, or would I rather apply on ZipRecruiter or Indeed? You know, my preference would be to apply on the company website. It feels like that would be the place that would maybe a recruiter or somebody in HR would see my resume first if I applied that way. So I'm going to look at this before I make any decisions on how I apply. And then the last component is the company contacts. And so we've placed these here so that you can network. You can reach out to these folks after you've submitted your application to introduce yourself, let them know why you are qualified for this position, why you are the best candidate, and start a conversation offline about it. And we think this is so important right now because companies are getting so many applications and resumes for each job. You have to try to find a way to stand out, and reaching out to somebody directly is one of those ways.
I'll jump in for a second.
Yeah.
I want to really emphasize this point. So I've been in the job market industry for 15 years. The job market right now is the worst I've ever seen it. So just so you guys know, like, news out there of unemployment being 4%, it is not a true number. It is more like 10%. I truly believe in my heart. I've never seen job seekers struggle so much to land interviews and even get an email or a response back to an application. And so with this service here, see, we offer these application links to the jobs. I don't think those are as important as these company contacts. Sure, apply to the job through the company careers page or on Indeed or LinkedIn or wherever. But at this moment in time, employers are getting hundreds, if not thousands of applications through those channels. And there's a few different reasons for that. One is because the job market's tight. Two, LinkedIn, Indeed, they have these auto apply features where you can quickly apply to a job, and they're getting tons of unqualified candidates applying to jobs because it's so easy to apply. They're inundated with applications. They can't sort through them all. And so they're ignoring most of them. And the only way to really stand out is to reach out to somebody directly. And that's why we give you these company contacts. And we do a lot of work. When you're on the site, when you look at the apply to job links, you'll see that there's a little working thing. We're searching the internet live to find all the direct application links. And the same with the company contacts. We are searching for every job, every contact live to give you these links. And so I would highly recommend, do not just apply through one of the application links. Reach out to somebody or 3 people. Don't be afraid to be a little aggressive with this. Don't be afraid that you're going to offend somebody by sending them a LinkedIn message. Be aggressive. Like, it's a tough market. So if there's 3 contacts at the company here, reach out to all 3 of them. Don't be afraid. It's better to over communicate than to under communicate. And I get very passionate about this because I see so many job seekers getting no responses from people, from companies. And so take the initiative. And the other point I want to make before I forget is, many times when you look on the LinkedIn or the Indeed job posting, it might say this job is no longer active or it's expired. That does not mean they're not hiring. I did a lot of analysis on this, and I found, to be exact, 57% of jobs listed as expired on LinkedIn are actually still hiring. The problem is LinkedIn gives out free job postings, and after 2 days, they take it down and they tell the employer they've got to pay to keep it up. And the employer doesn't have a budget right now to do that. So they just let it expire, and all these job seekers are getting turned off and not applying. Where if you use these company contacts, you don't need that LinkedIn job post to apply. Reach out to Carrie Palmer here at Abbott Laboratories, or whoever this is, and let them know you're interested. You're going to stand out from the crowd because they might not be getting applications through the job board, and so you have less competition to get their attention. So,
yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Kevin, for that. I think it's super important to share. Okay, so those are the 3 components of Power Apply. I'm going to go back to resume analysis for a moment and just point out that you can absolutely take this information here and update your resume on your own. The other option is to click on Rewrite Resume, which will have our AI technology create a draft resume for you based on your experience and the information in the job description. So it's going to more closely align your experience with what the employer is looking for. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to click on Rewrite Resume. The first thing that shows up here is an opportunity for you to provide a little bit more information. And this is optional. You don't have to do this. So let's say I have this experience. I have this healthcare related marketing experience, but clearly Jennie Johnson doesn't know that I do. And so I can add in a little bit more background so that when we do rewrite the resume, that's included. Same with the education, things like that. So I can fill in as much or as little as I want. And I can also say, I don't want to do any of this. I'm just going to click skip, and I'm going to go through on to see what this rewritten resume looks like. Now, this resume shows up in a report. And I know that's it's not quite clear what a report is because we're talking about a resume rewrite, not a report, but that's what it is. It goes into a report with all of the information that has been pulled together through the Power Apply process. So I'm going to show that to you now. As you can see, that report is being generated. So we're not going to look at that today. We're going to look at this one. Okay, so everything in the report is on the left-hand side, so I can click any of these links and it will jump to that section of the report. I can also scroll through the page. So it starts with, the things that are missing from my resume, some thoughts on why this company would interview me based on my experience, why they might not interview me. So I just have, again, some more background and understanding of if I'm qualified or not. And then it provides my revised resume. And this resume can be downloaded in 3 different formats: as a PDF, a Word document, or a text document. That way I can edit it once I've reviewed it and see if, make some additional changes as I see fit. The other important thing to note about the resume is that this format has been known to be the best for applicant tracking systems. So, a lot of times when you upload a resume, when you apply for a job, it's going into an applicant tracking system, which is going to scan resumes and call out which ones the employer should focus on, and maybe put others in an archive folder that, will never be seen. This type of resume, this format, is easily scannable, and it won't get lost, won't get necessarily put into that archive folder without even being looked at, because everything can be viewed simply in this format. Okay, so there's the resume. Underneath the resume, it tells me what changes were made to my resume, so it's easy for me to see that. And then it also shows which resume it includes. The next section is the cover letter. And so similar to the resume, this cover letter is written to take my experience and demonstrate how I'm a good fit for this role. So it's customized for this position. I can also download this and then edit it, obviously, as I would like to submit it for the job. And then the next component is an email message that I could be used. So it's not too different from a cover letter, but you might send an email that feels maybe less formal and might be structured differently than the cover letter would. So it's just another option for you to use to communicate with the employer. Also downloadable here. Then we have the job details, which we've already seen in the job page, company overview, and then there are interview questions that you can use once you get called for an interview. You can use this to prepare for it. So it shows you some questions that the company might ask you, and some proposed responses, and then questions that you can consider asking during the interview as well. So again, just information that helps you feel prepared for a discussion about the position. And then we have the application links that we saw in the Power Apply section, and we also have the networking contacts here. And then finally, at the end, we have some similar jobs. So, once you've applied to this role, you might go back and decide you want to apply to one of these other roles. Okay, so that is the report. That is the resume rewrite, which, as I mentioned, you see in the Power Apply section. Some other things that are important.
I can mention real quick. So we use a lot of AI for this, ChatGPT. We use a lot of service software to build this. This is really just to get you 95% of the way there. So we find really good interview questions that we think they'll ask that, it's a good, quick research tool that if you read over it, it's not going to give you every answer, but it'll get you very well prepared for a discussion with them. Same with the resume. We use AI with the job details in your resume and the company details to give you a really good resume. But I think it takes a human touch to get it over the edge, to look at your resume, download it in the Word format, and make some tweaks as you feel necessary, but it should get you most of the way there. So I think overall sense of like AI and how it's being integrated with our society, it's not replacing anything. It still needs your human touch to look over these things, look at your resume, but it does get you a lot of the way there. It takes a lot of the work off your plate. And that report also includes all the company contacts and the application links. And I don't know if Christy mentioned, but if you run one of these resume rewrite reports, we then email you that as well. So you have a copy of it in your email also.
Yep, great. Okay, I want to show you quickly where all this information is stored in your account, and then I want to go over pricing and allow time for questions. So, so in my account, if you click on history, it brings up this page. And so you can take a look at everything you have done on Jennie Johnson. So it shows your searches, it shows your power applies, and you can click this button and the power apply comes back up so you can read through it again. It also has all of your reports. So this is a great place to go to look at the content you have viewed so far on the website. As Kevin mentioned, the reports are also emailed, as are the power applies. So when you click on power apply for a job, that will also send it to your email. So you just have another place to keep track of it. Okay, let's go over pricing. So there are a number of things that we offer for free because we think it's really important that you have access to a lot of this at no cost. You know, you're a job seeker, you don't want to spend a lot of money to find another job, but we want to help you, of course. So that job digest email that you get from Jennie Johnson, either weekly or every day, that is free, of course. The job summary, when you click on one of those jobs, is also free. And then we have that one resume analysis note that's free. And then application links are always free. So that information, you know, it's really important that those tools are free. Then we have a couple of subscription models. The first is a standard subscription at $19 a month. That gives you 3 resume rewrites a month. But you get the resume analysis and the company contacts 5 times a day. So you can look at this content and decide if you're going to apply or not. And you can decide if you need a rewritten resume for that particular job and decide if you're going to use one of those credits. Sometimes a job might be so similar and you don't need a rewritten resume every time, but we think it's really, really important to always look at the resume analysis and decide if you want help with your resume, you know, being rewritten to align with that job, or if maybe you can make a couple small tweaks on your own. Then we have the premium subscription, which is $49 a month, and that gives you 20 resume credits or 20 resume rewrites a month. So that's a lot, right? So if you're really active in your job search and applying to a lot of jobs and you really want help with those, with customizing your resume for each application, then this is the plan for you. It's important to know that you can cancel your subscription at any time. If you don't use all of your credits, they roll over to the next month. So we try to make it really, really easy to manage a subscription and get the most out of your subscription. And then the last option really is to buy one report. So one resume rewrite. So that gives you the rewritten resume in addition to all of the other parts that we went through in Power Apply, and it gives you one of those. I'm going to show you now where to manage a subscription. So you go into Profile and Subscription at the top, and this tells me what I have left as far as credits. It allows me to update my payment if I need to, change my subscription, and cancel my subscription. So that's all there. The other thing I want to show you is the profile, because we haven't talked about this yet. The profile is an important part of our product because what it does is it takes your resume and creates a profile for you as a job seeker. And this profile is used to match you with jobs that you get in your job digest email. So if you're not satisfied with the jobs that you're getting in your emails, or maybe you think they could be a better fit, then this is a place to go and edit your profile directly. And so one thing I've done myself, just because I'm testing the technology, is I actually deleted the profile that was created for me from Jennie Johnson, and I wrote in exactly what I want in my next position. And so this will make sure that I'm getting jobs that are most relevant to me. Because sometimes the technology might focus on one component of a resume that maybe you're not interested in that type of job. And so it's best to really go in and refine this so you get matches that are most relevant to you in your job emails. I hope that that's helpful. It's a little bit tricky. The other thing to call out here is the cities, that you might be interested in, and you can include remote jobs. So if you want those to be emailed to you as well, that's a place to do that.
Yeah, I would say go into this anytime. Maybe you created a profile quickly or just uploaded your resume and it might be a little bit off target. But yeah, go into this, tweak it however you need, so we can get you the best jobs.
The last thing I'll call out are the email preferences. So I can choose how often I want to receive job digest emails. I also can choose if I want to get Power Apply recap emails. And then more recently, we have built out articles that are relevant to you in your job category or in your job search. And so then you can pick how often you want that content as well. So that is the product. That's how to use it. As I mentioned, you can go through that process either by searching here or by clicking on the job digest email, a job in that email. I would love to take some time to answer questions if anybody has any. Something is happening to the site at this exact moment.
Let's team that.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions?
Hi, this is John.
Hi, John.
I'm just curious about strategies for looking for jobs and what you might recommend in terms of, if you had, let's say, 3 different kinds of jobs that you might have an interest in, but they're distinct from each other, what you might suggest in terms of creating a profile or resumes and get some ideas.
That's currently with our infrastructure, we don't have separate profiles built in. And so if they're totally separate, like I'm in Los Angeles, let's say I'm an engineer, but I also want to be an actor. They don't cross very well. So I think that building 2 different accounts with different email addresses, and you could do that by even using the same email address. Like let's say, I'm gonna put it in the chat here. If I do Kevin+1@jenniejohnson.com, that will create that. I'll get the emails into the same email inbox, but I can have separate accounts for it. So you can build 3, 4, 5 different profiles with essentially the same email address, but you get different email alerts based on the profile that you built. Hopefully that helps out.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah. So something like that.
We get that question a lot. And so I feel like that is something that we should be building out for a future update. We are a small, independent, self-funded tech company. And so we are kind of, we have a vision for what upgrades and updates we want to make over time. It just takes us a little time to get there. So that might be one of those things that we are able to offer in the future.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of resources up front to build that and then also to run it. So each email that we send to users, it costs us a certain amount of money to search for the jobs, building the profiles out, all of that stuff. So it takes a little bit of time to do that and money. So a really in-depth email with 4 or 5 different sections of profiles, it takes a little bit of work.
Hi, Julian. You have a question?
Hi, actually, Monica. I'm using my husband's account. Anyways, I have a question about one versus multiple resumes. You're talking about like, having like essentially 20 resumes where versus, to me, I guess it just seems efficient to have a one well-rounded resume if you're looking mostly for one particular kind of job, but maybe multiple companies. What is your take on that? Because it seems like you guys are really advocating, almost like a different resume for every job.
Right. Yes. So it really depends on the job description and how different the job description is for each job you're applying to. So if there are different keywords in each job description, then it's important that you make sure that you have those kind of primary keywords in your resume so it gets noticed in either the application tracking system or through the hiring manager. So that's why we do advocate for a customized resume for each job, because we think that you're fine-tuning your resume for each job, because a lot of job descriptions are slightly different. But if you are finding that the job descriptions are consistent and there isn't much variation in them, then yes, having one well-rounded, well-written resume is the way to go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions? So Kevin mentioned this in the beginning. We are always here. We are always happy to help. I know Kevin put his email in the chat. Feel free to reach out to Kevin at any time. I'm going to send a follow-up email with this recording. You can reach out to me as well at any time with questions or concerns that you have. We also have a support email address, but you can go directly to us, and we will help you in any way that we can. We want this to be easy. We want this to be helpful. And of course, we want you to find success in your job search. So happy to help out however we can.
Yeah. So when you email just to Jennie Johnson, we have a whole customer support team. Sometimes I jump in there or other people, but you could get responses from anyone. So Julian.
Monica. Sorry, I have another quick question.
Yeah.
One of the things that's been a little bit frustrating with various search engines for various websites, Monster, or Glassdoor or whatever, is they're searching. Looks like it's all like ors. Like as far as from a logical perspective, Boolean searching. If you say requirements management, it's going to look for everything that has the word requirements or management in it. So I get stuff for, sales manager, whatever, or doors administrator, all the different administrator jobs. It seemed like I thought in the past that they had ways where you could do it as being and, like, doors and administrator, or IBM and doors or whatever, that kind of thing. But like saying requirements engineer or requirements manager, or whatever, it's a very specific task, but very general words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have. So whenever you search jobs, you can then there's a advanced search feature. So whenever you search for jobs, then you look at the top, there's a arrow that drops down, and then you could search for words just in the title, just for company names, or just for words in the description to help. But we have Boolean search was with Elasticsearch, and that was something we used to use in the past. But now we use something called a vector database, and it's a little smarter, so that the terms you put into the search, we prioritize those. It's not just a simple or query where the more words you put in, the more results you get, because it's just an or. It's going to focus on all of those words. It's a hybrid between an and an or query.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Okay. Great. I think we're all set. So appreciate your time today. Again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.